Eye na watchi atwam yi ye na ye nim say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama okoko lanchi the Akoko Nketenkete project ewo Kumasi. E de hu nsem bebre aba. In fact, me the stories abremo a ye ni na ye hu NPP for kan say omo kokra yare e de aba be kum nkoko because omo pese nkoko nketenkete no ebekoso. Now, for me, I believe, right, in life, say eto de bia wo say okọ weni mu abrabo mu a na o hye ase say unya massive obstruction. So wo bia wonim say wo mpe wasem o hye ase say wo kan nyamaboni afasa de ne ho a, it simply means say it is the right path for you. Let me tell you a personal story. Before I started creating content on YouTube, right, I faced obstructions. Obstructions ni bi ene say ebimo nkrofo bi me call obi ho na me de this is just a personal story. Me call obi ho na me call log in. Me de me account ne log in. Me do fie no na nipa kro no e delete me videos. That time man share see extra videos, and this around 2016 2017. That was when I started doing YouTube. Nipa kro no koko delete me videos no. Ho ene na ma me hu say sa pathway no inshire bi be free mu aba. Into no YouTube no menko so anye. Why? Because of obstruction. Because sen ade no papa bi free mu mba. Di entia na nipa ko no obe delete me videos. Ma logging in into the account. So that was me a sign. And I've believed in that. Me believe say me ya de pa na obi sha say oye bibi a stop me a. Bibi pa bi wo ho entia na nipa ko no person stop me. Nti and the NPP for adia wo mo ka nkoko nketenkete yebewe no, it tells me that there is something good in there. Nti and the NPP for ni na ka say ti nkoko nketenkete. Na you see a very typical mama what say NPP for one thing about them, they say you can't differentiate between a normal NPP person and someone who claims to be a professor or someone who is a professor. You can't differentiate because you see. So we'll be able to school do a tree. Now we do the point of being a professor. So what about online now work as we expect to know the difference. Me melody samiti hey. Me amene mo say. I am not a professor. University na makono is just first degree. Miti hey. Me mama force me say me nkonko ye master's degree by no grant me fa ma adwen ma no. The only level I may do a first degree. Sa asemba na me kasa fa ho a obi a wabo professor, wako school do professor no. E was so who clear difference. Because one no wako school do a tree. Inti se obi kwakoye professor, ano ye professor, no akasa fa bibi ho. Na reasons a wo ma no. Ye to me tena se ne de ya adwen fa oni hu ne se professor ya sensem a wakan se be wanwen hu ye a. Na no professor na wo se wo ye no. Efahin. And I want to respond to say NPP professor B. In a video B say one if you are pokia personally me feel say NPP professor no we go ni hu ni mu say answer na beko video ne so na me share your first time subscribe na click notification bell ne so here is our latest news be about one sa ebeka. Say what tie me na we fu so. Na o pese we fu eba from e so 10 mo. Book na wo screen so no me recommend ya ma. Na book ne betra onyama miensa sa nyama miensa no to me this so a me ma 1 month pe obehu se nia wefu ebeba form me amene mo ka sei na mefu eni the same person me a ende me a mefu eni na ye book ni mu nyama na ope book ni bi ato a ye 055 807 4986 055 807 4986. The book is just 100 cedis. O WhatsApp and now free obenya book no ewo PDF and a tree video format ewo WhatsApp on 100 cedis pe. And as I watch CC, there is a link in the comment box ewo YouTube. O click that link na obenya book no in every single format I will pay. Obehu all the formats. O click here na ho na wenya book no. Anyway, yentie professor yi, NPP professor yi and someone walk and fa kokon kitten hono. We have just some few questions for him.
Kokon kitten campaign. Any 24-hour campaign, yeah.
Your friend, Professor Kwabena Oforiata, right? Professor Kwabena Oforiata. Anyway,
I do a man oko. And so, yes, see one more so, can some yachin one more drinking, or more jetum. And no more ben that me develop so say, Nkokon kitten or the man for. Uko Krabia Sia will be our one coco. Ya sabi, or took us your manage. Oh, any panel Nkokon kitten over saying good policy on. Oh, and yet we don't even call it policy. It's a scam. If you want that. Then I make catch it out. By prof, what are your professor? By what? I didn't about mine. I did.
So when indirectly cran what you someone if you poke your kind. I say by prof, now you're professor. Not just if you poke your cran when they say, Papa and someone walk no. It's not worthy say was a professor to make us answer no because in someone Papa ne can name more. So I say by now you're professor. Professor na wokasa say ba wo de yentie you have a few questions emano don't worry
ya mo bia nkokọ 1000 kra de no mo de baye na so mo baye nkokọ no na prof na wana na no be kanfo a champion ma ye say wo de wo hu a champion system no yes Mahama ye nkokọ nketenya de similar to champion operation feed yourself no no be 1000 kwa na onye o mo na so ni area ho o mo tumi nya nkokọ ni bi eto at a cheaper price. I say, any good. And community ben no money portrait farm or Ghana. Community.
Ebusian for. So if you are very sensible thing our kind. Say ya chiche na area bi obi nya nkokọ 1000 kra na onye yan so betumi afidi nkokọ no. Tie response a professor emaye and the community ben na any portrait farm or Ghana. Professor ne response a woman no. Community ben any poultry farms for Ghana. What do you see?
It's just a duplication of efforts. Community ben money.
The professor is telling us a duplication of efforts because community bia a poultry farm. There is no need. Say or say aban a young kokon kete. Na sa response we are professor ne ma no. Ma dwen say how will someone like a professor be speaking this way? Then there is no need for extra schools in communities. Because I'm a core community, be na me who say school be wo any kwanza aban san so basic school for wo. Because a duplicate of effort. That is what the professor is telling us. So there is no need for a community to have more than 2 hospitals. Because say one hospital or what, the internet will say, you see another hospital. That is what the professor is telling us because a extra duplicates. Maybe community me to me about 5 hospitals just surrounding me. The community about 5 hospitals. Inti sa 5 hospitals nini na yen fan say aban so peso ba besi public hospital wo. Aban beka say because there are 5 hospitals wa inti mami mbesi hospital wa di inti because of duplication of effort. That is what the professor is telling us. Yes, see nkokon kete ye di creating nyuma. Ye chiche nkoko non krofo anyen. Na aboa ne di creating nyuma. Na asanso feed community na. Professor ne say community bia wo poultry farm de da. Until there is no need. Say was say yes I then a duplication of effort. Me say me we asemo me buy so will be my reason into a policy be my yenye. Sa reason way the weakest. And again I woko dwom krasa woko to in toes ah. Obi to in toes ne nchen ya obi fufro to in toes ne nchen ya obi fufro to in toes. Professor way according to his logic or his thinking no was you go in toes uko jomsa woko to in toes there nipa ba ko pen en ton in toes no because a duplication of efforts the entire yakko jomsa yako to in toes is microphone and sankwa ne wo ho a to in toes. That is what the professor is telling us. So uko area bi na open nsuo ato a nipa ba ko pen en ton nsuo. That is what the professor is telling us. But if you can say the same thing about poetry, we can also extend it to other aspects of our lives. So you know, say reason a woman basically that's what the professor is telling me. Say in a community, say your store be no muto it should be only one store. Because obi ko si store for so no so beton winsio a duplication of efforts. Because obi ton insio the dada. That is what the professor is telling us. Duplication of efforts. That is his reasoning. Me see, I have heard people say certain things. This is a professor, and it is only the NPP. Hey, na me kan same way ya. Enya say bia metan NPP o. NPP pe. And I say obisi or a professor wakasa. Oba question say nipa kro no si den no nya ne professor certificate no si den den no dinya as a professor. NPP pe. He Ghana krom ha ni na. Omo claims omo ye professors are omo kan make ridiculous statement ni na no party be no mo ni na support it. It is only the NPP. NPP professor ba radio so no kasa. You will not know the difference between that professor no any grassroots person. You will not. Say NDC professor akasa na grassroots ni kasa. You see the clear difference. Say professor akasa. But ni ba kone also ye NPP ni. No a professor no kasa. You are not going to see the difference. And it is as clear as day as you are watching right now. My reasoning here, in Kukon Kitinkiti, a bad policy here. Also, the duplication of effort. Now, in every single society, every single community being and any poultry farm. What the hell? It is a community be our poultry farm. Nebia, and you see, Kusia, farmers no, essay, Kusia. A crate, omoton kosia crate ba ko be 40 cedis. Na so mo de koma dwadifo na. Dwadifo no person bete so ama yen the end users no. Nti dwadifo no still omoton kosia na ma 70 cedis. Professor Nensem wo kan say community bia wo poultry farm de da. It is a community no. Omoton kosia na abodin a we have no choice than to buy it because enope just a monopoly. He doesn't even understand that sa nkokon kitinkiti policy ya ebe ma cost of living crack of former Magana for. Because in my community, if there's already a poultry farm, now wamuto nkosia create back 70 cedis. Now nkokon kitinkiti we ye di amankrofo ba miensa bi wo me area. No mo nso etumi ama yenya nkosia no. Na afi omo ati kosia no so aba 50 cedis a. Is that not an improvement? Is that not omo moame in terms of cost of living? Is that not an improvement? So what is the professor talking about? Why is this professor trying to rubbish a policy like this and the professor is trying to be myopic? Why is the professor trying to be myopic on a policy like this? And you see, at the end of the day, clearly because the professor doesn't like NDC. It's no can same way na. Hwe abrante na owosoro ho no efia pokuanche no wo hwe nenimu obonhu ne se abrante ne kra no waya me se na professor pa no be kan same way wo hwe utumi hu wo nenim. Because what are you talking about? That every community has poultry farm already. So akokon kitinkiti no mayenye. What the hell are you even saying? Then every community has roads. Itima aban enyi kwan fufro. Every community has hospital. Every community has school. Itima aban enye kwan fufro. Every community has some form of source of water. Itima aban ma meyo wo munsuo momo. Ana, what are you even saying? And this is a professor. Jesus Christ. Hey, Martin semwa. Pansem ne bedie. No kwan ne nyame anim ni. Ensem. Hey. How can you say every community has a poultry farm? So,
poultry farm. Oh dear, muntie ni ye. Uwa kura asekura ni pa poultry farm. A champ operation feed yourself no. Just say anya say you wo do ufrafo mba na woko no akodo. Me do banchefo, me do bode na so be nkran kura na obi ho ane dachi. no the body si ho ubeko na so fe e champo braso aduane bui e wo Ghana okay aduane bui wa power ni pa no wo ya dwuma wa na wo serve wo hunti wasi fifre ni ahoto wo ya na wa ahoto mo sane mo ka se nkoko enipa bebre wa poultry farm enti wo hwa eno de enye priority kra just already the duplication Dako farm or a crop farms or now make sure there was
he couldn't give any proper analysis. But even me, a first degree holder on this platform, sometimes me can't say me to me the data and the analysis by the two. But if you're a professor and you are speaking, that should be your barest minimum. If you're a professor and you are speaking, it should be your barest minimum. Bring data analysis, okay. But what's your papa name? No analysis, no proper data. It's just like inshallah vibes. Jesus Christ.
Oh, said to senior high school. Maybe your poultry farm maybe. Because of operation feed yourself, let teacher for obia yebi. And in that area, people will just laugh at him because.
Inti a champ on time and sebe. All canfo send uncle for you feed yourself or mudia edianene nyamana. Sa time the sebe ne piafo ni Ghana. Sa time na community be any farmer na. But he all canfo akase and no nenye duplicate. But poultry the there all can say no a duplicate. Yenya because every community has a poultry farm. A champ on time no did all the communities bia no money farmers. They all had farmers. They all had farms. Schools had farms. But who praise no? E your time hunu. Charlie, this sad. Montre moi your comment box. This is very sad. Now, Mr. Ramo, there is a trip coming off. You go Dubai from 17th to 22nd of December. If you want more information, you want to join 024-986-9616. NPP professor is here. I'm say I also check your certificate. Some of them, Charlie,